Hi, and welcome to today's June 11th stimulus update and my funny yet productive call with the IRS. If you're a subscribed member of my community, thanks so much for coming back. If you're not, subscribe right now so I can keep you updated and give you other smart money tips. Okay, I want to be upfront because I respect my community. This update is mostly for people still trying to get their first check and my humorous call with the IRS. I will touch on how to change your address in case you move or get evicted so that when there's a second stimulus, you're able to get that money. So if that applies to you, please stick around. If this isn't for you, feel free to jump off, and I will do another update later today about the second stimulus. If not, feel free to listen in on my funny phone call with the IRS. Okay, now they say not to judge a man until you have walked a mile in his shoes. So this morning, I decided I would call the phone number I've been telling people to call to reach the IRS for the last 10 days. Thousands of you have gotten through and shared that with me. However, thousands more have also said that they are stuck or could not get through. After calling 7 times, I can tell you personally that I got through. So let me go through that. Now, the number I was calling is the number I've been giving out. It's 800-919-9835. Right there. Yes, this is real. This is not a green screen. I called. First thing they want to know, is this English or Espanol? So I pushed 1, and I listened to a 2-minute message while I sat on hold. The hold music then quit, and I was hung up on. So strike 1. So I called back. I then got lost in several prompts that ultimately kept pushing me back to the main menu. So I hung up, frustrated. I called again and ended up getting lost in the prompts again. This happened 6 times. So right when I was about to give up, I was like, okay, no, I'm not giving up. I want to get through to a human so that I can tell my community that I got through. So I called, I pressed 1 for English, I sat through the 2-minute message, and then I sat with elevator music for about 3.5 minutes. At this point, a voice comes on and apologizes for the long wait and suggested that I call back or check the irs.gov website. I was not about to call back. I continued to hold. After about 18 minutes, the phone made a dial tone ring, and then it went quiet. Like crickets quiet. It was at this time that I sat in the silence with steam coming out of my ears. And I actually started to tell off the machine. I said, this is why the IRS is so hated. This is why people in my community hate you. This is why people get so mad. I've called you 7 times, you piece of garbage system. And just as I was about to hang up, a voice came on and said, your expected wait time is about 15 minutes. Oh, I was jumping for joy. I was a little bit embarrassed that I had yelled at a machine, but I got through, right? Then a very grumpy woman answered the phone, and my first thought was, how can I cheer this woman up? So I wished her a good morning, and she said back in a dull voice, yeah, good morning, what can I do for you? I said how grateful I was to have her on the phone and that I had called 7 times and wasted almost an hour of my morning, but that I had finally reached her. She said in an annoying voice, how can I help you, sir? I told her I'm calling on behalf of 400,000 people from YouTube to see if I could get a human on the line and get some question answers. She said, right. So what do you want to know? I said, when most people call you, are they nice or mean? She said, they're usually very anxious and very mean. I said, I promise to be nice if you will promise to help me. And I could tell that she smiled and she said, okay, let's go. What do you need? I said, okay. I asked her if the people on SS, SSI, SSDI, or VA benefits that have not received their check, what should they do? She said that they can call the IRS or check the website, but in almost all cases, the money is on its way. It just hasn't arrived yet. They're still trying to get through over 10 million people that need money. So if you are in this category, the money is coming. It's going to be delivered however they deliver your benefits to you each month. But if you're doubtful, call the IRS at this phone number, right? Okay, I then said, if you are scheduled to get a paper check or a debit card, is there any way to speed that up? She told me that people can call the IRS and double check their information. In some cases, they are missing 1 or 2 pieces of information. And once they have that, they're able to give you an estimated delivery date. So that's pretty cool. She also said it's incredibly important to continue to check the Get My Payment portal. I told her many have tried but had a hard time. She said the most common mistake that the IRS is noticing is that people are not putting their full address. They put in the house information and then they jump to the zip code. She said people need to leave a space and then put a city, or a city and then a comma, and then move down to the zip code box. So I guess a lot of people have been leaving off the city. So that's good to hear that from the IRS. I asked, how do people update their address in case they move or get evicted so that they can get that second stimulus check? She said to give the IRS a call and they will update the address. She then asked me to tell my community to please not call the IRS about the second stimulus check because they won't have any information. And a large percentage of the phone calls coming in right now are people tying up the phone line to ask about the second stimulus check, and it has not been approved yet, and they don't have any information. So please continue to check my channel. If you're not subscribed, subscribe right now. I will give you updates, but don't call the IRS because it's making it hard for other people to get through. Okay, I asked, what about money that was sent to the wrong bank? She said to have people call the IRS and the bank, that in most cases they can trace where that money went, they can alert the bank, and they can reissue you money within a couple of weeks. So if that's your situation, reach out to the IRS at this phone number. She also said the Get My Payment portal is really important because in case the bank or the post office returns your check, you will be able to go in and update your information, and in some cases they can get a check out to you very quickly, or they will just go ahead and direct deposit. So keep an eye on the Get My Payment portal still. She also told me if you are a non-filer, to have information about yourself ready when you call the IRS, such as Social Security, the last amount of income that you received in 2019. Even if you didn't file a tax, you should know that number, and that will help the phone call go more smoothly. Okay, I asked, what if a couple had one spouse get the money, but the other spouse did not get the money, and they both qualify for the money? She said that they should reach out to the IRS and that they can trace where that payment is or where that payment went. But she did say if you are on any kind of social benefits program, such as Social Security, or you didn't file a tax, in most cases, the spouses should expect to receive money at different times or on different checks. So if you're in that category, you may just need to be patient or just double check and they can trace that. Okay, I said, what about people that didn't get money on their kids? She said she knows that that's very frustrating, but at this point, they will need to file their taxes next year and get what's called a recovery tax credit. So you will get that money, but it won't be until next year's tax filing. Okay, if you were claimed as a dependent and didn't know it, and so therefore didn't get money and should have, she said that you need to call the IRS and they will work through the situation with you and issue a recovery tax credit. However, you won't get that tax credit until next year. And if you normally don't file, you will need to file taxes for 2020 in order to get that recovery tax credit. So you're not out the money, it's just delayed. But I thought that was good news because I've heard that one a lot. Okay, I asked about tax returns for 2019. She said at this point, offices are only at 50% capacity, but agents are working on tax returns every single day. That is now their biggest focus. So tax returns are coming. but they are behind because of all the work the IRS put into the stimulus package program. She told me that right now they are getting a lot of calls about scams. The IRS and Treasury will never call, never text, never email. They don't communicate that way. She said the only reason that they might email or send something in the mail is if you brought a specific issue to their attention, and in that case, the letter or email would address that specific issue. In most cases, it will always come snail mail. So just to be aware of that. She wanted me to let people know, please don't throw away your prepaid debit card if you got a debit card instead of a paper check. If you did, call the IRS or the bank and they will get it replaced. She then asked me to tell people to please be patient when they call in. They are getting millions of calls a day on limited staff. She also said that if they could be as nice as you, Stephen, they will get a lot more help than if they are mean. Hey, if you found this video helpful, will you give it a like? There are so many people on YouTube that are searching for this information. And also share it on Facebook, because you may have a family member or friend that's desperate to get their money, and this is the answer. All right, I'm going to do another update here in a couple of hours on the Senate. Hopefully there's some good information that I'll be sharing with you. I want to thank you for being in my community. I hope you found value in the couple of hours that I put into this research, and I will see you on the next video.